When's the last time you sat in that salon chair, looked in the mirror, and felt like the woman looking back at you wasn't quite you? Not older, not less beautiful, just off somehow. Like the cut was making decisions for you instead of the other way around. If you've been holding on to a style for years because somebody once told you it was safe or age appropriate, I need you to lean in close because we're having that conversation today. Before we get into it, hit subscribe right now because I've got 7 haircuts that are quietly aging Black women over 50 without them even realizing it, and 7 stunning alternatives that are about to change how you feel every single time you catch your reflection in a window. Let's get into it. Here's what nobody tells us when we're younger. Nobody sits us down and says, one day, the same cut you wore at 30 is going to need updating, not because you did anything wrong, but because your face, your texture, your whole presence has evolved. So we keep going back for the same appointment, the same request, the same photo we've had saved for a decade, and we wonder why it stopped feeling like us. That's not a flaw in you, that's just a cut that hasn't caught up to the woman you've become. Number 1 is the flat-ironed curtain. You know this one, that bone-straight hair, harsh center part, lying completely flat against the scalp with zero lift at the root. Here's what's actually happening, sis. As we mature, our hair naturally loses a bit of density and elasticity, and that's just biology. Nothing to be ashamed of, nothing that needs fixing. But when you press it perfectly flat, you're creating these vertical lines that echo the natural softening happening in the face. And that dead center part is basically a spotlight aimed right at your crown, making any thinning look far more dramatic than it actually is. A lot of women fell into this style because it felt polished, controlled, professional. But controlled isn't always the same as flattering. So here's your upgrade. We're calling it the dimensional wave with a couture part. Soft, face-framing layers starting around the chin to build lift, paired with a deep side part instead of that harsh center split. That one small shift instantly moves the visual weight of your hair and creates the illusion of incredible fullness. Put the flat iron away for a while. Grab a large barrel curling wand or a round brush and create soft C-shaped curves that sweep away from your face rather than lying flat against it. Add a root-lifting mousse to damp hair before you even start styling. The goal for this look is hair that looks full of air, hair with movement and dimension, hair that catches the light instead of absorbing it. It gives you that just left the salon energy every single day, not just the day you get the cut. And the best part? It takes the same 10 minutes you were already spending with the flat iron, just pointed in a completely different direction. Number 2 is the excessive mullet shag. Short and choppy on top, long and thin at the ends, and honestly, the shag itself isn't the enemy here. It's a genuinely great shape when it's done right, full of movement and a little bit of edge. The problem is when the ends get thinned out so aggressively they start looking stringy, almost like a tail hanging on for dear life. When too much weight gets stripped from the mid-lengths, the hair loses its integrity, and for us, that reads as thin and unhealthy even when the hair itself is perfectly fine underneath. The fix everyone's asking their stylist for right now is the bowl cut, a French take on the shag that keeps those cool, effortless layers but leaves the perimeter blunt and full. Instead of thinning out the bottom, the shaping happens on the inside, hidden layers that give you lift at the crown while the overall silhouette stays thick, dense, and expensive looking. It's the perfect balance of edge and elegance, and it genuinely photographs beautifully in every light. When you sit down in that chair, tell your stylist exactly this: shattered face-framing pieces up front, but a solid, uniform baseline everywhere else. You want movement around your cheekbones for lift, but the back should read thick and cohesive. It works beautifully with our natural texture, too, whether you're wearing it curly, coily, or blown out straight for a special occasion. Just a little salt spray or a light curl cream, let it air dry, and that's your whole routine. No blowout appointment required, no standing over the sink on a Tuesday night. I've noticed something interesting sitting in salon chairs over the years, listening to other women. So many of us can point to the exact moment our hair settled. A promotion where we wanted to look serious, a funeral where we didn't want attention on us, a wedding where the photographer suggested something classic and safe. One decision made for one day that somehow became the default for the next 15 years. That's worth noticing, not judging, just noticing. Can I tell you something, sis? A lot of these mistakes aren't really about the hair at all. They're about the rules we absorbed decades ago and never questioned. Somebody told us shorter was safer, flatter was more professional, tighter curls were neater, and we just kept following that rulebook long after it stopped serving us, long after we'd earned the right to write our own rules. It is 2026. That old rulebook gets thrown out the window today. Aging gracefully while black has never meant shrinking. It has always meant refining.
Number 3 is the crunchy perm, or really any curl pattern that's overly processed and stiff. Tight, uniform ringlets frozen in place with heavy, high-alcohol mousses and gels. Here's why it quietly works against you. That rigid texture reads visually as dry, damaged, parched hair, even when your hair is healthy underneath it, and it can make an otherwise glowing complexion look a little duller by comparison, which is the opposite of what we want. Curls that stiff don't drape or move naturally. They sit static, and static isn't the energy we're bringing into this decade of our lives. What we want instead are cloud curls, sometimes called air-dried locks, long, seamless layers that let your natural curl or wave pattern actually expand and breathe. This is entirely about hydration and softness. Bounce you can see from across the room, the kind of shine that says the hair is healthy from the inside out, not just polished on the surface. Instead of a stiff halo sitting on top of your head, this style lets the hair fall in soft, irregular patterns that blur the lines around your face and offer a gentle, romantic softening. Swap out that crunch-inducing product for a high-moisture cream gel or a rich leave-in conditioner. Apply it to soaking wet hair, scrunch gently with a microfiber towel, and then walk away completely. Let it dry untouched. No fussing, no re-scrunching halfway through. Rigid to airy. That's the entire transformation, and it reads instantly as modern luxury, the kind of mature, natural hairstyling that actually photographs like it costs $300. Number 4, and this one hits close to home for a lot of us, is the helmet pixie. So structured, so perfectly uniform, it looks carved rather than grown. It usually comes from a fear of messiness, a desire for control, but the result is a cut so precise it stops looking like your hair and starts looking like a wig glued on top of your head. A frozen shape like that creates a hard, immobile frame around the face, and hard frames draw attention to every line and shadow instead of softening them, which is the exact opposite of what any of us actually want from a haircut. When hair doesn't move, it loses its vitality, and it can make even thick, healthy hair read as thin and brittle. Ask for the textured Shaggy Pixie instead. Feathered pieces, varied lengths, natural volume built into the crown, no can of hairspray required to hold it in place. It's a cut that looks intentional even on a low-maintenance morning, which is exactly the point. Wispy pieces left around the ears and nape soften the entire jawline in a way the helmet pixie never could. Have your stylist use a razor or thinning shears to create soft, shredded ends. Style it at home with a lightweight wax or a dry texture spray, never that heavy aerosol. Piece the layers out with your fingers, direct them away from your face, and let your features open up instead of closing in. This is short hair that still feels feminine, still feels soft, still feels like you. Have you noticed this too, sis? So many of these outdated cuts have one thing in common. They're all trying to control the hair into stillness, and stillness is exactly what makes a style feel dated, no matter how sharp the lines are. The 2026 alternatives all do the opposite. They give the hair somewhere to go, and honestly, they give us somewhere to go too. I want to pause here for a second, because this isn't only about hair. So many of us spent decades making ourselves smaller in one way or another. Quieter at the office so we wouldn't seem difficult, smaller hair so we wouldn't seem like we were trying too hard, smaller opinions, smaller wardrobes, smaller versions of our actual personalities. And somewhere around 50, a lot of us start asking why. Why did I shrink for so long? What was I actually protecting? Choosing a haircut that moves, that takes up a little space, that catches light instead of hiding from it, that's a small decision with a much bigger meaning underneath it. It's practice. Practice choosing yourself out loud. Number 5 is the heavy, boxy, shoulder-length cut. It hits right at the shoulders and just kind of sits there, tenting out or flipping up in a way that feels accidental rather than intentional. I understand the appeal completely. It keeps some length, it feels manageable, it's familiar, and familiar feels safe. But that heavy one-length perimeter acts like an anchor. It pulls the eye downward, and it can accidentally emphasize exactly the changes in the jawline or neck that we'd actually rather celebrate than highlight. When hair lacks internal movement, it just looks like a heavy curtain hanging there, thin at the root and bulky at the ends, which is the opposite of the lush, healthy look we're after.
The upgrade here is the Luxe lob with invisible layers. Same sophisticated medium length we love, but with subtle shattered layers built in throughout. These layers remove the weight without sacrificing thickness at the ends. Thinning out the bulk that typically sits around the ears and chin gives your hair natural lift at the crown, a vertical boost for the whole face. We're moving from a cut that just hangs there to one that flows and bounces. And that movement is the hallmark of vibrant hair regardless of the number on your birth certificate. Ask your stylist to point cut the ends rather than cutting a harsh, blunt line. You want a soft, tapered finish that curves naturally with your face shape. Sleek or with a soft wave, this version of the lob looks structured but airy, expensive, intentional. It says you're not just growing your hair out, you're styling your life. And that is timeless style for Black women over 50 in a single sentence. Pair it with a rich camel coat or a deep emerald blouse this season and watch how the whole look elevates itself. Because great hair and great fabric were always meant to work together, each one making the other look more intentional. Number 6 is the micro bang, that ultra-short fringe that ends high on the forehead. Edgy on a 22-year-old model, sure, but often far too severe for a mature face. It creates a harsh horizontal line that draws attention straight to expression lines. And because our hairline can get finer with age, those short bangs can end up looking gappy instead of full. It boxes the face in and shortens it when what we actually want is that open, lifted appearance we've earned. And I'll say this gently, a lot of stylists default to this because it's an easy trim, not because it's actually your best option. So it's more than fine to ask questions before you commit, to bring a photo, to say plainly what you don't want. The gorgeous alternative is what's being called the Pamela fringe. Picture a long, wispy, soft bang that grazes the tops of your eyelashes and tapers down toward the cheekbones. Infinitely more flattering. It softens the forehead while pulling immediate attention to your eyes, which, let's be honest, are usually your most expressive feature at any age. Cut with a curved silhouette, longer at the edges, it creates a beautiful contour effect, almost a built-in filter for the whole face. Ask your stylist for curtain bangs, point cut for a feathered, see-through texture. You don't want a solid wall of hair. You want a fringe you can move, tuck behind your ears, play with depending on your mood. Some days soft and full, other days swept aside entirely. Styling is simple. Blow it forward with a round brush, then angle it slightly to the side. That shift from short and blunt to long and airy is an instant facelift. No needles, no downtime, just better scissors.
And number 7, the last one on our list, is the severe middle part bob. Chin length, perfectly symmetrical, split right down the center. It photographs clean, I'll give it that, but it's genuinely difficult to pull off after 50. That dead center part acts like a plumb line straight down your face, drawing the eye to any natural asymmetry every single one of us has, because none of us are perfectly symmetrical, and that's normal, not a flaw. And that sharp horizontal line at the chin can make the neck read shorter than it actually is. We're moving away from harsh geometric shapes that trap the face instead of framing it, the same way we're moving away from anything else in life that boxes us in when we'd rather have room to breathe. The far more flattering choice is the soft, curved bob. Same classic bob length we love, but with beveled ends and a gently rounded silhouette that curves toward your face instead of cutting across it like a blade. It still reads polished, still reads put together, it just does it with a little more warmth. Internal graduation creates a soft C shape that follows your natural bone structure rather than fighting it. Often styled with a slightly off-center part, which breaks up that harsh symmetry and gives you instant lift without adding a single extra step to your routine. It's the kind of bob that ages with you instead of against you, which is really all any of us are asking for. So there it is, sis. 7 cuts to retire and 7 absolutely stunning alternatives ready to meet you in that salon chair. Every one of these swaps carries the same idea underneath it: less rigidity, more movement, more air, more life. Because that's really what luxury hair looks like on us. Not stillness, not control. Softness that moves with you, texture that catches the light, a silhouette that celebrates melanin-rich skin instead of quietly fighting against it, whether you're wearing ivory, chocolate, sapphire, or bold prints that season. This is what elegant fashion over 50 and confidence after 50 actually look like when you put them together, starting from the crown down. And here's what I really want you to walk away with today. None of this was ever about chasing youth. It was never about erasing a single year you've earned. Every one of these 7 upgrades works because it cooperates with your hair as it actually is right now, not as it was at 25, and not as some outdated rulebook insisted it should be at 50. That's the whole shift. Stop cutting your hair to disappear quietly. Start cutting it to be seen exactly as elegantly as you already are. Now, I genuinely want to hear from you. Team soft curved bob or team textured pixie? Which of these 7 are you already planning to request at your next appointment? And which one is a hard no for you? Maybe you tried one of these years ago and it didn't work for your texture. Tell me about that too, because we learn faster from each other than any glossy magazine spread. Drop it in the comments, let's actually talk about it, because this channel only works if it's a real conversation and not just me talking at a screen, and I read every single one of them. And if today helped you see yourself a little differently, even just for a moment, that's exactly why Luxe Melanee exists. So subscribe, come sit with us again next week, and bring a sister with you who needs to hear this too. More on style, confidence, and graceful aging for Black women who are just getting started right here every single week, with no fluff and no filler, just real conversation. Stay golden, stay confident. I will see you in the next one.